And then, of course, we went on to the match that was 7 years in the making. Edge and Seth Rollins. Now, I was a bit unsure how this might actually go as a match, and given Edge and whatever, but I actually rated it higher than the match we just spoke about. I actually gave it an 8 out of 10. I quite enjoyed the match.
That was a good match. Psychology was great.
See, even at the very start when Edge came out, he sort of came out as the first bit was the Brood.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of thing. And then halfway down the walkway, then his normal music hit.
Yeah.
So it was good in that he had to go back to that dark place, which they'd been talking about. So they incorporated that, I thought, really, really well. I mean, the guy can work. He's, an 11-time world champion. He's a Hall of Famer.
Both guys can work.
And Rollins, he's obviously going to be a Hall of Famer. And I think the moniker on him, the architect, is appropriate. He is a very, very good worker. So the match had everything going for it. And, of course, we were talking before about the psychology and stuff, Anthony, and that. But, everybody knows Edge has had a triple fused neck or whatever. Yeah. So, obviously, that was Rollins' target. Yeah, he started targeting the neck right from the start. And it was good. It was smart. You'd expect it,
He targeted that. I think nearly every move involved Edge's neck.
Yeah. He worked the neck. He worked the back of the head. He banged it into the ring steps multiple times. There was a couple of neck breakers. And everyone knows that's Edge's Achilles heel is the neck. I liked it. I liked the way it the match was sort of constructed. Edge sort of started to try and work his way back in with that flapjack. But then, every time it looked like he was going to get somewhere, there was that huge frog splash from Seth Rollins onto Edge. Seth kept setting him up for the stomp or the attempted stomp. So it was good. They were going to their strengths in terms of, working the neck, looking for the stomp, that sort of thing. I thought it was really good. And that spinning neck breaker by Edge on Rollins from the top rope, I thought was sort of that critical moment where he turns the match around a bit. But I thought they really, really worked very well, the two of them.
No, yeah, you can't go. You knew it was going to be a good match, just the two names that were in it. I'll have to agree with everything you said, Pete. I can't add much more, to it. There were some really good transitions. There into the pedigree. I thought that was a great transition. Not big on the top rope stuff. Like the neck breaker looked great, but there was a lot of stalling, a lot of balancing, a lot of first something if it's off the top rope, it happens fast because then it looks rehearsed or made up. So, but no, I can't. And just the two names alone, you're not going to. It couldn't be a bad match. It just, it'd be very surprising if it was a bad match. And they're similar in the way they work.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that Seth tapped out. I don't know how which way you could finish it without, but I suppose at some point they had to maybe get Edge over, and that's that. Now whether he comes back or does anything else, we don't know. But
the loss wouldn't have hurt Rollins, even if he doesn't come back. I don't think it really hurts his stocks because it was such a good match. It went for such a long period of time.
It was a long match.
Yeah, and even if it was a tap out, he didn't line 1, 2, 3 on his back. It was a submission. So it doesn't hurt Rollins' stocks at all. I don't understand on that stage putting Edge over unless you've got something that you've got in mind for him.
Well, time will tell, I suppose.
Because he's not going to really face Lashley.
No.
Lashley's booked up at the moment.
Yeah.
Reigns is booked up at the moment. So it only really leaves him to say, look at, the Intercontinental or the US Championship, if they're going to give him a run at anything. Because the feuds are all done. What feuds, maybe Orton's even tied up because you couldn't even relive that feud.
No, that went its course, that one.
Yeah. So, what else do you do with him? That's the question. On a booking sense, what do you do with him now?
He might just go away again like he did last time and come back closer to Mania, maybe, or
maybe
maybe the fact that Christian has won that title, the Impact title he won?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe they sort of just want to put him over as their version of the half of that team, or
yeah, maybe.
I was thinking about that as well. I was thinking, well, what are they? As soon as Christian won that title, I thought, well, what are they going to do with Edge?
Yeah,
I want to do something to counter it, so to speak.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. You can see that. I'm sort of at a little bit of a loss what they're going to do with him.
I think you might see him step out. He'll appear on SmackDown.
Yeah. Like I said,
and then he'll probably just disappear.
Yeah.
For a little bit again.
Because every time you put somebody with a win in that environment at that level, you don't just book that just for the sake of booking it. You book it because you're going to have something next.
Some sort of spin-off, yeah.
Yeah, right. Because otherwise you're giving up. How much does pay-per-view time cost you? It's a lot of time it's costing you to put somebody over you're not going to use. So I don't know what they're going to do with him because I actually put Rollins to go over. Every one of these matches we predicted before the match happened. Anthony and I, we had a little prediction.
Oh, okay.
And I actually, he went Edge and I went Rollins purely because I saw more value from booking Rollins in a longer run. All right, well, if he goes over Edge, then you can look at something. But obviously they're looking at him going further, doing something else with Edge.
Yeah.
And, they put Rollins. It didn't really hurt Rollins, the match. It didn't hurt his...
No, not at all. It was a great match, and they all used their moves and counters, and it was just... well, he tapped out, with the crossface sleeper, but Edge made him look strong. I mean, he put him into quite a few things. He delivered the spear, through the ropes to outside, and then, of course, Rollins countered with a spear in the pedigree, but then Rollins missed that corkscrew and then, copped a spear and then the crossface sleeper and that. So it wasn't by any means a way that he hadn't been worn down or made him look bad or whatever. And you're right, he loses nothing by it.
I think there's two problems for Rollins right now in WWE. One problem is pretty much all the championship belts are held by heels.
Yeah.
So there's nowhere for him to move up at this point. Secondly, right, he's been on top for a long time. Time for him to be put into a tag or something like that and let him cool down.
Yeah, a little bit.
Cool him off a bit and then bring him back in 12 months' time hot when you got a decent face. Say somebody like that Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Give him a good run, look after him, drops the belt here and there, picks the belt back up again, keep him looking strong, keep Rollins cool, and then let him run at the belt. And you're going to get good value out of Rollins that way. But they keep him up and they keep losing him off the top guys, even at the end of feuds, he's going to devalue. So, and he's young, so you don't want to devalue him. You definitely want to keep him around for another 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
5. So I think it's time to call him off. If I was booking him, I'd be calling him off in a tag team because there's nowhere to send him. You can't send him to a territory. No. But I'd be calling him off in a tag team and just, tell him to lie low in a tag team and have a strong tag team going and that kind of thing. Yeah. But not, yeah. I'd be looking at booking him, so.